On our way to Copenhagen today for a mid-season special of the Fine Wino. This episode differs from the others primarily due to the fact that instead of drinking one fabulous wine with one expert, I'll be enjoying dozens of them. But in order to pull this off, I need to first ingest a cheeseburger from Gasoline Grill, the best burgers in all of Scandinavia. And after that nutritious and healthy meal, it's time to get to work.
With Copenhagen showing itself from its most pretty side with its lovely weather, we're about to taste some really great wines from Spain, Italy, France. I'm going to throw in some champagne too today, actually. Can you believe this place? This is actually Denmark's old stock exchange. It's an event held by Theis Vine, Denmark's leading importer of quality wines from all over the world. So let's get this party started. So I have the pleasure of being here with Martina Molino. If you had to bring one wine to a desert island, which one would that be?
It will be our single vineyard Barolo Conca. So my pick is the Conca because basically it was the first wine made by my father Mauro in 1882 and it belongs to the property since a long time. Plus is a very, very small single vineyard, one of the top cru in the Barolos area. So that's my choice for sure, yes.
Let's try this then.
Of course. And talking about Conca is a Barolo that have both complexity and elegance at the same time. So get this incredible aromaticity of ripe fruits, plus an extremely good body and structure. It's definitely a wine that can be aged for a very long time, but you can start to enjoy it from now. Plus, we make only 3,000 bottles a year. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The Gallinotto is actually one of the single vineyards.
Licorice, cherries, alcohol. What else do you want in life? Right, I'm actually here with the Antoine Billecart from Billecart-Salmon. I'm asking him to choose between his favorite children here. Which one is his favorite child? What do you say, Antoine?
Well, as you said, it's very difficult because when you produce all sorts of wines, it's hard to choose one. But I do have a favorite one, I would say, as did create it some years ago with the Blanc de Blanc non-vintage. It was a creation. We've been always producing a Blanc de Blanc vintage, but not a non-vintage. And I thought at the time when I started 25 years ago, that it was missing in the ranch. And when I asked my father to say, let's produce a Blanc de Blanc non-vintage, and he said no. Oh, I said, okay, I'll try another time. And they said, well, if you want to produce Blanc de Blanc, source your own grapes, get your own grapes, and start to do it. So that's what I did.
We're going to try it now.
So this is it. It comes into a special shaped bottle called Bouteille Fondation, and it's the same as the rosé. And so here we are based on vintage 2012 with 11 and 10 in reserve. What is important as a Chardonnay is to have a bit of strength, you know. Sometimes Chardonnay and Champagne you have some flavor, fruit, acidity, and then all of a sudden nothing's got left. So here it's important to have a bit of a long distance. That's what makes it nice to have. So let's go. You should try. Basically what we try to get is to be a bit flowery. So we're talking about aubépine, we are talking about pêche blanche, white peach. And then what is important is to get that chalky aspect with a specific growth called Chouilly. And as Chouilly is really sitting on the chalk, it's hard to talk about minerality in Champagne because we are not on stone, we are really on chalk. And 90% humidity chalk, and that's what makes it very special. And that's why Champagne is unique, because of that chalk.
Yeah, no, of course. No Prosecco can come close.
No, not even a chance.
No.
Even the one they try to plant in England right now, it's so different, you know, because the channel is in between, you know, and it's very particular. So the most important is try to produce a Blanc de Blanc with a lot of character. At Billecart-Salmon, we are basically, what we want to show is the elegance and the freshness of it. Cheers. Yes.
It's a ballet.
Okay. All right. Let's dance.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Right now, everybody's on a break, so I feel like I'm a 6-year-old in a deserted Disneyland. Back in 1985, I had my first taste of fine wine, and it was a Coste Tournelle, Chateau Saint-Estèphe, and now I have the pleasure of trying it again. I have had it before in the meantime, but for me it's always an emotional moment to drink this because this is what really got me into wine. Cheers. This one has the characteristic licoricey Bordeaux taste, but the one that I had was much more aged. It was from 1955, so it had a much rounder, more almost... It changed character in every sip. While this one needs that time to age, it will become just as beautiful as the one that I had. And which one is your favorite wine on this table?
My favorite wine is one of the single vineyard Barolos that I brought with me today. It's from the vineyard Trapo. It's located in Serralunga d'Alba, so in the southeast part of Barolo region. So Serralunga together with Monforte is probably the two areas which are mostly clay-based, and you get a bit more structure, a bit more depth, earthiness. So for me, it's a little bit like extra everything. So this is why I really like this wine. Barolos, and especially our Barolos, are going a bit more towards the more approachable style. So here you have a lot of fresh red fruits. You have a pure, nice cleansing acidity, but you still have this little bit earthiness coming back in the end and a long length. So this is really a wine that you can also age. It's absolutely drinkable now. It's at 13, but imagine this after, I don't know, 10 years with a nice plate of pasta where you have a little bit more maturity notes as well, truffle and liver.
I'll drink to that. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, now I'm here with Miguel Angel Cerda. If you have to bring one wine with you to a desert island of all your beautiful wines here, which one would that be?
Like your sons, it's difficult to choose.
Yeah,
but if you say me choose one, this perhaps the Anima Negra.
Anima Negra?
Anima Negra, yes.
And why is that?
We discovered this vineyard a long time ago. Vineyard that the people don't like the local grape Callet, and we began our history in the vineyards that we do this wine. It's all vineyards of Callet, is the grape, but are living in the natural place between fruital trees, apricot, pears, apples, with the forest around, close to the sea, and receive the sea wind every morning to dry the vineyards, and is in a spectacle of balance, you know. So the balance is the word that we need, the balance, and to try to understand what is happening in the nature. The enology is nothing without the nature.
Please, let me try this. Got the last drops. It's like fruity, silky, delicious, flowery.
This wine is known so by the land, but half by the sea. The sea is the real deal for the wine of the island, you know.
The Mallorcan.
Yeah, of course. The character of this wine, they come more from the sea. The sea is the owner of the wind, is the owner of the temperature in the night, the way of live all the humans and plants in the island.
It's beautiful. It's good.
It's a unique taste. Round. It has everything: sweetness, acidity, flowers, peaches, fruits, and even the sea, actually. Mallorca. Now, this day has been full of fantastic wines, but if I have to choose one wine that really was excellent in every way, it is this one, the Barolo Conca from Mauro Molino, 2013. It has everything, and it tastes like you really want a Barolo to taste. And the best part is, it'll probably just get better with the years, but it's fabulous right now as well. Time to go back to Sweden. I'm still alive. And if you like what you see, make sure to subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram and Facebook to see lots of more things from the Fine Wine. So we're on our way back from the events, and I managed to snitch a nice bottle of the winning wine, just because I want Christian to have
So let's see what he thinks about this. Oh, fuck off.